Hi everyone, this is Maria Lawton, the Azorean Green Bean. I'm going to show you how to make a really quick, easy linguiça or chouriço, Portuguese sausages with onions and peppers. And today I'm going to be using linguiça. I'm also going to be using some garden fresh green peppers. And the onions I have is from the farm, our little farm stand that we have close by to our home. Very lucky to have it. All of this is pretty much farm stand, as well as the garlic I'm using today. So, and I'm using 4 garlic cloves, but we're talking about fresh garlic here, folks. So right now what I have is I have olive oil in my pan, and I also have about 2 tablespoons of butter. Because of course butter is always great with our dishes, isn't it? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you first how we're going to get this started, and I'm not going to go over every little piece of what we're going to be doing here with the ingredients, because at the very end we're going to have the recipe put up, so that if you go, oh my goodness, I have to write all this down as Maria is talking, no, it's okay. You're just going to hear me talking, and then at the end, you're going to see me putting it together, and then at the end you'll know exactly what to do, okay? So as we have the oil here heating up and the butter is melting, what I like to do is I like to do that for both. So what I have here is I have onions. Like I said, this is about 6 small onions, but if you have 3 large onions, or depending on how much onions you love. I mean, I love onions personally. And what I did is I cut them at half moons, or half, and then I sliced them up thinly. So this is how I like my onions, okay? Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it in here. Love that sizzle. And what I'm also going to do, anytime you have onions being put in there and you're going to be sauteing, you want to add some salt, because salt brings out the moisture of your onions. So you want to get this right in the beginning. And what I'm using here is I'm using Portuguese sea salt. Okay, it's really amazing. If you can't get your hands on Portuguese sea salt, kosher salt is amazing also. So I like this way, and let's saute this, and we're going to get this to a translucent. So let's go through this. It's going to be a little bit. It smells wonderful. Now that it's become a translucent, what I need to show you is when you say, I want your onions to go to translucent, it doesn't mean you want it golden. Translucent is this. Let me show you this. See, I'm going to pick up one of the pieces of the onion here. And as you can see, it's translucent. You can see through it. That's the key. So once your onions reach this stage here, it isn't going to be too crunchy when you eat it. You're not going to be, this is the spot that you want to get it to for this meal. Because what's happening is you're going to keep cooking these onions. You just don't want to get them to a mushy stage. You don't want that. But translucent is perfect, okay? And I just showed you how it is for translucent. See how great that looks? That's it. You can see through it. That's it, translucent. Now what you're going to add is you're going to add about 4 cloves of garlic. I rough chopped these. These are, again, from the farm stand. They're huge cloves of garlic. I personally love lots of garlic. So if this is too much garlic for you, just, omit some cloves. But, this is always wonderful. And I always like to add my garlic after I do sauteing and getting the onions to the translucent stage, because I don't want to burn the garlic, and I think I've mentioned this before in my other videos. If you burn your garlic, it becomes, the dish becomes bitter, and that you don't want. So you're going to be adding the garlic in there, and what you're also going to be adding next after this is you're going to be adding the peppers, okay? Now, when I add the peppers, I need to make sure, again, that the peppers, again, I'm using 2 of them here. They were nice size, and what I did is just clean the inside, taking the seeds, and then I just chopped them real thin this way. And when I do it that way, it's just gonna cook faster, okay? So I'm gonna add these in here, because once we start adding the linguiça and the liquids in here, it's gonna be a really fast thing. So I'm gonna add the peppers in here. Oh my goodness, it smells amazing, okay? And I'm also going to add some black pepper, some ground fresh pepper. My mom liked using white pepper, but I personally like the black pepper better. So it's up to you. And if you're not one for black pepper, you don't have to put that in there. Again, that is all on you, okay? I am gonna add 1 teaspoon of paprika as a seasoning. My mom would always do this. It gives it a nice, wonderful color, and we're building on flavors, okay? So that goes in there. Smells, once again, amazing. You can see now it's changing colors here. The other thing she would do on here is she would add a little bit of tomato paste. This is 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. And what I like to do when I have anything I'm adding tomato paste to, I put that in the center where the oil is here, and I kind of like to make sure that I cook it. You want to have it in there to kind of cook off that real tomatoey flavor, but at the same time you want that color. You want that depth of flavor in it without it being too overpowering with tomato, because this is a concentrate. And what I'm using is a Portuguese tomato paste. Again, these are all little things that you can find in your market. Oh my God, it just smells amazing. So I'm adding this in here, okay? Then we're gonna add liquid to it too, but that'll be towards the end when it finishes up cooking. The other thing I'm going to add today, because I am not using chorizo for my cooking as my Portuguese sausage, I'm using linguiça, and it's a mild linguiça. But my husband loves spice. He loves heat. So I am using 1 tablespoon of the pimenta moída, which is the hot chopped peppers. And if you cannot get your hands on this, any hot sauce that you like that gives you heat, that's convenient for you to pick up, you're just going to use that. I mean, I'm not going to tell you that you can't use it because you can't find something else. But look at this. Look at the colors. The colors are just beautiful. The smell, the aroma is amazing. So I know I'm in the right zone here, okay? So then what I'm going to do next is I am going to add the linguiça. Now what I used today is I used 1 pound of linguiça. And what I did was I kind of rough chopped it. You know, I made it in the bigger pieces because I like those chunky pieces. Sometimes my mom would just cut them in half and it'd be like long links of linguiça or chorizo in the sandwiches. So you can do what you like. My aunt, she would like to chop it real small so that it would be more, you can kind of extend that pound of sausage a little bit more by making it into small pieces. And so if you're having a party and you want to make more sandwiches, you can cut these in smaller bits, the same way with your onions and peppers, and make it extend. It can extend a little bit further. It can go a long way. So I'm going to add the linguiça in this dish, and I'm just going to saute and bring everything up to bring it all together. Anytime you put cold into something hot, it kind of slows down, and that's what happened here. By adding the colder linguiça sausage into what was really hot before, kind of slows down, so we kind of have to wait up a little bit till everything comes to a nice Heat again. Make sure everything is mixed well. Now, again, I'm going to repeat. If your sausage is really spicy, you don't need to add the extra heat. But if you really like heat, I mean, who am I to tell you not to add more heat? I know some people out there, it's very hard for them to find linguiça and chorizo, and so you substitute. And, well, although you can buy things online, you can get it delivered anywhere in the United States, I know that much. There are some people in California that actually still make their sausages fresh every year, so, and they smoke them, and because I met them when I was out in California, so I know that people still continue making the sausages. But you know, if you can't find it and you like your own special spicy sausage, like an andouille, you know, why not? If that's all you can get your hands on, and you love that sausage, and you don't care for, you know, Portuguese sausage, you can always do that too. Okay. Now, while we're moving this around here, sauteing, making sure everything is great. The one thing that my mom would love to use, a little bit of beer. Sometimes white wine, but most of the time it would be whatever beer my dad, whatever Portuguese beer my dad had in the refrigerator is what she would add. And that's what I have here today. I have about a cup's worth of Portuguese beer, and I'm just going to add a little at a time, just to make sure that I have enough. Oh my God, the smell is amazing. It smells amazing. I am going to bring this up. Maybe I'll start with a half a cup here, because I'm making really a small batch. This is, for my mom, this was considered a small batch. We were a family of 6, and so this would, yeah, this would not do it. So she would have, just think double everything. And that's what she would make for us. Okay. And you want those peppers to start cooking up. Okay, I'm gonna go up a little bit more on the liquid. So at this point now, I have used just a little bit over half a cup. So if you're doubling this, you definitely need a cup. If you are not a beer person or a wine person, I have my water here just to show you that, so I wouldn't forget, that if you don't want to use any kind of you know, alcoholic beverage, that you're also welcome to just use water, okay? If you like a lot of sauce, then you add more liquid. If you don't like things too saucy, just omit as much as you want. Or if you didn't want to even put any liquid in it, you could have had something that's just, you know, a little bit drier. But this is definitely what my mom would make. I'm going to lower the heat a little to a simmer, and I'm going to cover this, and then we're just going to let it saute like this and simmer for a good, let's see, another 5 minutes, okay? So let's do that. Okay, it's been at least 5 minutes here, and we're gonna see just the difference that it takes from letting it cook that way. Look at this. And you have a lot of the liquid, it's evaporated a little, which is wonderful. But, you know, if you take your cooking tool here, your spatula, whatever, and you kind of cut through the pepper, it cuts through very easily. So it's not going to be something where you think you have, you know, uncooked peppers, because the peppers are definitely cooked. And this is beautiful. This is done. This is done. This is how easy this is. So what we have here, and what I did is I always had some beer off to the side just in case it evaporated too quickly and I needed to add more liquid into it. But I absolutely did not. A lot of the liquid came from not only the onions, but also the peppers, and because remember we put the salt in it, and that does it, that kind of pulls it out. And then just the beer, and like I said, we went just about a half a cup of beer on here. And we are done. I am shutting this off. And what I have here for you is, for those that, I mean, if you're Portuguese, you know this, or if you live in a Portuguese community, you know this. It is the pão seco. That is our roll. That is the bread that we use. I already cut them. I sliced them all in half. But what's funny is I remember when growing up, we were like in always such a hurry. And besides eating it like this, you know, we would take the bread and kind of like, you know, just kind of tear it in half. and then we'd have like a little pocket here just for us. And then we would just add like all of this amazing stuff, like right in the center of this. And then just bite into it. I mean, this is as good as it gets, folks. This is as good as it gets. And then what I also love is that, you know, you've got these little pieces of bread that, again, you would dunk it into the what's ever left over and kind of like clean that off that way, which is, you know, really bad, but it's so good. And then the other way of eating this, if you're in a very low carb kind of diet and you can't do your breads, I mean, you can also have it this way, just by itself. And so I'm going to put that here, and I'm just going to taste some. So I'm going to sample it a little bit, same, all different ways. So let's see. I have here the linguiça. Amazing. And then I have the green peppers. Perfect consistency. There's a little crunch, but it's not mushy. And then I've got the onions and the garlic. Once again, just amazing. So I hope that you get to make this for you and your family. I hope that you enjoy it. Now, after I've tasted this, now I've got to take a bite. I have to. And I know my husband is sitting over there going, "Come on, Maria, I want some too." But this is my family recipe for peppers, onions, and Portuguese sausage in a bun. Enjoy.